Welcome back to Firefield Vision, powered by NovaCare. Kevin Egan here, delighted to be joined by Frank Yallop. Now Frank, last night, Tuesday night at Toyota Park, real feel-good factor around the stadium after a good win, a 3-1 win at home in the US Open Cup. But most importantly, Mike Magee scoring a brace in front of the home crowd again, wearing the captain's armband, and the return of Patrick Nyako.
Yeah, I mean, you know, three great things. We won, which is fantastic. We're through to the next round of the Cup, and having Mike and Patrick back on the field together was good, but just to have them back in the building and now back on the field, which is fantastic. So it's great.
What is it about Mike Magee that makes him such a smart striker?
Well, just a great finisher, and he thinks differently to a lot of players. You know, he thinks a great little finish for the first goal, and his second goal was a typical Mike, pulls off, great, you know, tucked in the corner. But he just thinks about the finish he's going to do, not about hitting a target or just being random. He thinks about it. He's cool, he's calm, and he finishes. So good to have him back.
39th minute in the match last night, Sean Johnson, for me anyway, with a world-class save with the left foot. That's something that we've seen and become accustomed to seeing from Sean Johnson over the years. How good is it for you to start to see that now again, now that he's in the first team?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Sean's a good goalkeeper, and we've got two good goalkeepers here. But you know, Sean's a very good goalkeeper that maybe had a little bit of issues, and then we spoke about that, and I left him out of the side and give him a chance to, you know, get his confidence back. And he looked very confident last night. Made that great save when we needed him to make that, and that was the difference in the game. Making that save. You build on that. You know, we're still at 1-1, I think it was. We just scored, makes that save, and then we go on and win the game. So big save at the right time.
I was thinking a little bit earlier on about the players that you could have in about a week or two. So many players that will come back into the team, but Houston might come a little bit soon for the likes of Sean Maloney, for example. How do you manage this quick turnaround and this trip to Houston?
Not easy. You know, David and Sean are both out for Friday. Jovan's gone with the Gold Cup squad. So, again, it's a squad game. You know, I was very pleased with a lot of performances last night we had. So I just want to carry that into the game on Friday, which will be a tough game, obviously, down in Houston. But, you know, we want to get back onto winning ways, especially away from home. Big game for us. And we just want to play well and get a result. And whoever's out there will give everything they have.
All right, Frank. More feel-good factor, hopefully, on Friday.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks, Kev.
Well, it may sound obvious, but the game of soccer is won and lost in both boxes. Now, what you saw last night with the Chicago Fire was the return of Mike Magee, his first start in a Chicago Fire jersey this season, and also the form of Sean Johnson has gradually become so much better, and he looked really solid between the sticks last night. Let's start with Mike Magee, and the two goals he scored were a joy to see, just because of his movement across the box. So we'll take a quick glance here at Magee. As Lavelle Palmer tears forward on the right-hand side, Kennedy Buonanike makes himself available for a quick 1-2 with Palmer. Now, if we pause it right here, just watch how Mike Magee and Lavelle Palmer, personally Lavelle Palmer, I think, starts to think along the same wavelength as Mike Magee. He knows the runs that Mike Magee makes. He knows how smart he can be. The centre-back, Duckett, a little bit flat-footed in this situation. Now, if we roll it on, the ball's played across at a perfect weight. Magee gets there ahead of Gilstrap, the goalkeeper, and in vintage Mike Magee fashion, dinks it over the goalkeeper into the bottom of the net. The second goal, Mike Magee finds that pocket of space. Jovan Jones does so well. Now there goes Magee. Finds that little bit of space between the defence and midfield. Feeds Patrick Nyako. Remember, this was Nyako's first touch in the match on Tuesday night. Now pause it here. This is where Mike Magee again starts to think like a really smart striker. He's drawn Pat's Logic, the central defender, wearing number 4 in white, all the way in towards the edge of the 6. Nyako, he knows how good he is. So if we roll it on, Nyako breaks that little bit of confrontation. Look how far Mike Magee has checked back. Hits it first time. And I think a lot of players in that instance sky that ball over the bar or go for power rather than finesse. Magee in that instance, bottom corner, just places the ball in beautifully for his second goal of the game and the third on the night for the Chicago Fire. How about up the other end? Sean Johnson, I think, has gotten gradually so much better over the past few matches. He's ready for shots as they're being hit, and his confidence levels are well and truly up right now. So let's take a look at 2 saves over the past 2 matches. The first one against DC United. It's a free kick from Luis Silva, gets the ball in. Now Bobby Boswell gets goal side of Addy Elton here. Addy Elton's kind of tugging him back, but look at the position of Sean Johnson. There's so much room to his right-hand side. And if we roll it on, just look at the footwork of Sean Johnson. He gets across so fast, gets that big fist on the ball in front of Jairo Arrieta and gets it away to safety. How about Tuesday evening in the US Open Cup. Wonderful build-up play. And just watch, Zahorsky gets goal side of Matt Polster. Sean Johnson's feet are set. Excellent position from the goalkeeper as well. Zahorsky gets a great shot off, but this is a world-class stop once more from the left foot of Sean Johnson. That would have been 2-0 to Charlotte in the first half. For me, Sean Johnson's performances have been back to his good old self from a couple of years ago. And Mike Magee, well, he showed MVP form last night. Now, he still is trying to edge back to full fitness, but the Chicago Fire will need big-time performances from both those players again. Major League Soccer action returns on Friday evening. The Fire heading to BBVA Compass Stadium to face Houston in Texas. A big-time match back on Univision Deportes, and it kicks off at 8 p.m. Central.